What's up, everyone? So, was wondering whether everyone can hear me. This is a new setup. I'm not sure whether this actually works. Let me see now, because this is a very new setup. Apparently, right now YouTube's dashboard has changed, and I didn't really have the time to go in. As you can see, these days she's pretty much stuck to me all the time. I'm supposed to be making a little bit of milk, but I saw XTZ actually move up pretty aggressively. So I thought maybe just come out and do a video. So guys, it would be good if you can let me know whether you can hear me, so that I know that the mic is working. And yeah, I mean, I'm not sure whether anyone is able to chat. So yeah, I just need some response from the chat, and then it will be better to kind of let me know whether the volume is okay. All right, guys. So XTZ actually did a very, very strong movement. Okay, thank you very much, Manjera. Okay, so guys, I think the recent price movements across the board, take note that the market cap has not really increased. Okay, that's one of my main concerns, because when we were at 250, 200, okay, so say 200 billion at that point when Bitcoin dropped to 7,300, and we kind of recovered relatively quickly in about a week or two, back to the $9,000 region. Of course, there was a bit of a spike past 9,000, and then up to 10K, but it didn't hold, and now we're kind of trending around 9,003, which I find is kind of a very weird support level. It does show some historic price points of support, but I feel that there's going to be a further downside to come, because who wants to purchase five-figure Bitcoin? I mean, a five-figure digit Bitcoin. That means when you're talking about $10,000 Bitcoin, like why? Like there's no fundamental reason to do so. So other than news hype and funds trying to push their agenda, I don't see any reason to be buying Bitcoin at that price. Now, I would have felt more comfortable buying Bitcoin at 6,800, which was seemingly the consensus price across quite a lot of social media platforms. As you guys know, I'm very, very quiet on social media these days. Twitter is not my thing. YouTube, I have also, in terms of content, I've minimized that. I just feel that at the end of the day, my opinions are going to matter only when there's market movements like this. So when I made the video of XTZ, that was back in May. Okay, this is nothing new. I didn't add any more positions because I already had a decent bag of XTZ when I made the video. Just like the same video when I made about HT and HPT. These are months back. So those who actually just stayed invested, or you managed to catch the listing pump of Coinbase, where it went up to when it went to Coinbase Pro, that went up to about 160, but I didn't get out then. For this current one, I did get out, because I just felt that, you know what, if it's just purely staking rewards, it's not that sexy and it's not that exciting. Why do I say this? Firstly, yes, baking and staking is part and parcel of every new network. Yes, it's great to have support from all the big exchanges, the most prominent compliant exchanges that are willing to house and provide custodial services, especially XTZ. But I just feel that, with such a parabolic movement that XTZ made today, I felt it was time to get out. So as I just released most of my positions, I have about maybe 20% of that, or I have 20% of the original position left. And I'm basically just moving majority to USD Tether or cash. We had a very great year in CG. I think a lot of our selections and picks were more on the slow moving stuff, nothing like crazy. I think today the craziest is XTZ. And of course, those who bought at the recent dump, altcoins that were purchased at the recent dump when it was at, oh my goodness, can you know? So when XTZ, when altcoins, when we had the drop of BTC dropping to 7,300, okay, and you had the courage to buy altcoins then, you would have easily made 30% at minimum. Okay, it all depends on what you bought. Now, Fusion did very well. I didn't catch that one. Neo did very well. I didn't catch that one either. But I did do the basic stuff: LTC, HP, HT, HPT. F and EOS are still a little bit are quite underwater for me. But those are very, very small positions that I moved from HPT and HT over. But the smart contract protocols, I am not very excited because I just feel that they are going to be very slow developing and long drawn. Not much excitement. I think the recent listing of VeChain will also kind of push VeChain up as well. I think the movement probably already happened. And I think it's a pretty smart move because exchanges realize that the new listings, the IEO phase, kind of fizzled out. No one cares. No one is actually participating or even bothering to speculate or buy any of those tokens. It's nice to kind of bring back the old coins. So the more familiar names kind of will resonate a little bit better with people. It kind of will get people excited. So I think Binance is kind of taking that step to try to reinvigorate the market in any way it can. Because even though you're offering new margin-related facilities or different kind of financial products, whether is it options trading or some kind of asset management, it's still pretty boring overall. Because let's just face it, where was the last time your uncle or auntie, your grandmother, your grandfather called you up and say, hey, where's the latest new hot coin to buy? That kind of period is not happening at this point in time. There's practically no one caring about this whole space. No one is looking. Obviously, no one made any money on XTZ if they even bother to watch my channel or my videos. Or if they're not even following Tizen or anyone else. Only Tizen and myself were the ones that were actually who picked up on XTZ. No one else was talking really much about XTZ. So yeah, I mean, imagine that there's really very little hype going on in the market. YouTubers are basically doing product reviews and making content on whatever and everything else. Even Box Mining is doing more cover pieces on what's happening in his country in Hong Kong. Yeah, just enjoy your holiday, guys. Moral of the story: enjoy the end of the year. Enjoy yourself. I'm definitely on like break mode for quite a while. I'm just enjoying the profits that I've made throughout the year. Not doing anything crazy, not very excited either. I would love to be more excited. As you know, we were all in since 2017. I feel that the market is just lacking in that kind of craziness. And I don't see that craziness coming back anytime soon, just to be very frank. But yeah, do you see it? Do I see the space becoming more credible? Yes, I do. Do I feel that there will be a return of the demand for tokens? Yes, I still feel that there is going to be a strong demand of assets, or at least companies who are fund managers planning to buy tokens. That is a very strong possibility. And also there are people who are willing to buy tokens instead of garner equity. It may seem very silly, right, to kind of do that. But the fact that there are going to be more people, or at least companies, trying to make their token more credible, or at least back up their tokens with certain assets, revenue, security, back it with some kind of tangible asset, it would be great. As you can see these days, it's really like that for me, man. Every single day is like that. I'm really tied down. No joke. This kid, it has to go to school before everything can start back all over again. She's only 2 years old. Okay. So anyway, guys, yeah, I mean, enjoy your gains, your profits. I think it's all about being patient now. It's really sitting it out in the right coins. That's the part that is so difficult to do. Even personally, I didn't want to hold. Can you sit down? But personally, I did not even want to do. I personally didn't know whether I wanted to hold the whole position or not. But I decided, let's just be smart. I just feel that with any parabolic movement, I must stick to my rule. As long as the movement is parabolic, I have to get out. So I'll come to the chat a little bit. Yeah, so blah 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 blah. I think it's from the Coinbase Earn promo. Yes, it is. XTZ, that is. Yes, Coinbase staking. When people stop paying attention is when things start to happen. Yes, I agree. I remember when she was a newborn. Follow you back then. Hey JP. Yeah, man. Cute little kid. Yes, She is very cute, but she is also a handful, by the way. Are you holding XTZ or taking profits? I mentioned earlier on my stream that I took profits. My majority of my position is already out. 80% of my XTZ position is already out. I only left 20%. That is a very comfortable 90 cents average price. No, sorry, 95%, 95 cents average price on XTZ. Which you can see there's a current pullback already from the 170 and now it's back to 121. Apparently on Coinbase, based on my US folks, my signal group, not my signal group, oh my goodness, that name, my private group, it's holding 155 on Coinbase. So whether it holds and goes further up, I have already made peace with that particular position and said, you know what, whatever it is, I'm happy with the gains that I made. My positions were in since May. Just to make everything clear, this is not something that I did recently. It is something that I did back in May. Yeah, it's an old position. What do you think of XRP? Wow, Jimmy. You know what? XRP is so challenging to be speculative. Firstly, there's just too many tokens in the market, right? And even though they did a lot of great marketing at the beginning, just showing that they are mixing and rubbing shoulders with the big boys or the big banks, with certain corporations showcasing themselves on Ellen DeGeneres' show and making a very, very generous donation to her foundation, I think, or one of the charitable organizations. But after that, the whole crypto market just continued to be bearish. And right now, I think Ripple is still kind of in that same situation, just like every large cryptocurrency. We're talking about EOS, we're talking about Ethereum. And Ethereum has been also price-wise very, very disappointing. But you know what? The fact that the price has been holding relatively steady, it didn't drop back to 150. It did go to 166 recently. I think 166, 170, but it held. So this just goes to show that at least, right, there is a strong market support. And I think market support is one of the key things that we have to quickly identify so that we can just put our money in. And XTZ was one of those tokens that I did look back at one point. And I'm very thankful that I wasn't so early that I would have to hold the position for like 1 or 2 years. Okay, to be very frank, I made relatively semi-aggressive position placements only this year. Like, taking profits on HT, coming back to HT, taking a very aggressive position in HPT, exiting at almost close to the high, which is very thankful. And then after that, now re-entering HPT as well. And I know that there are restrictions to... Can you sit down? I know that there are restrictions to US folks buying any kind of exchange tokens. I think there's going to be certain stronger regulations and restrictions coming and going forward because it's kind of deemed as a security in a way. Because if you're sharing revenue, it's already deemed as a security. So I'm not sure whether there's a way out or how it's going to be done in the future. And, a lot of things are just still relatively uncertain. So I don't want to make these kind of comments until there's official statements or something for me to read. Then I can comment about it. But for now, I think most of the markets are still relatively free play if you think about it. And it seems that there's a lot of collateral. There's a lot of collateral, asset crypto collateral placements. So these asset collateral placements are kind of allowing these asset management companies or lending companies to kind of borrow from you in a way because you're kind of holding with them and they give you a small return because most people are definitely not traders. Neither can they trade effectively. I do not consider myself an expert trader, please. I'm just someone who just observes the market very accurately and I just, kind of snipe, if you put it that way. I snipe and then I leave the position. I don't keep looking at it or whatever. These days, I don't even refresh my handphone. There is no time. Just look at it. So there's no time to do all these kind of things. So I'm just taking the whole year very chill all the way until 2020. Hopefully the market comes back. It is the third year, all right? It is like year number 3. Could we be in a bear market for 4 to 5 years? We could, we could just, okay, next year, hopefully we see 300 billion. We stay above 300 billion. So what does that mean? Could we see Bitcoin having a dominance kind of where we are, but we see more money flowing to altcoins? I really hope that happens because that's where the ROI is. I have not made solid money from Bitcoin. Okay, nobody on this channel who has been following me knows that I made money from Bitcoin. I did not make any big money from Bitcoin, but I did make money from altcoins. And everyone who has watched my channel can attest to that. Anyone who is still even in my Discord group, it can also attest to that. So they know that I have not bought Bitcoin. I wanted to buy Bitcoin at 6,800. I didn't. I only got in at the $3,000 low because I tweeted that out. Obviously, I took a position, but I exited at 5,000. So, it kind of didn't really do very well. Neither am I big on margins because I don't want to get liquidated overnight. I stay away from margins, even though I do have a keen sense of the market. And obviously, I do know how to kind of put decent trade positions in and stop losses in, but that's something that I just don't want to do. I don't want to be like traveling or having to care for this kid or taking maybe I'm just showering her and the next thing the position gets liquidated. That is one of the worst feelings ever. So yeah, I've had my fair share. And I personally don't want to do all those things. I know that the market is kind of squeezed at the moment. That's why a lot of folks are kind of forced to taking a margin position in a way because the gains are so long, right? Like, okay, just take the recent XTZ movement. If you got in the time when I made the video or I started tweeting about it, that's 6 months, guys. 6 months before you finally are able to make a 50% return. 6 months, man. I mean, let's be very honest. I know a lot of people don't have a lot of patience, and I think that's very, very fair because we were so spoiled. We were able to get such crazy returns back in 2017. It's still fresh in our minds, It's still fresh in our minds. So would I ever blame anyone for not having the patience? No, I won't, because I'm one of those people who was enjoying the great returns as well. But the only difference was I knew how to take profit, right? So that was then. Right now, everything is just slowed down. Everything is still slow. I just recently went to a Singapore crypto conference. Nothing was going on, guys. And that was, one of the more prominent traders in our space. I will not need to name who he was, but there were only less than 20 people watching his seminar. Less than 20 for maybe a 200 pax room. 20 people, that's 10%, right? So guys, it's not as hyped up as it used to. It was, back then it was like everyone was so interested, wanting to get involved. You have poly students who were wanting to be community leaders. You have YouTubers popping up and trying to make money like the way I'm doing right now. It's no longer that. It's no longer like that. But do I see YouTubers still popping out and creating content? Great content. One thing I really admire the people who have been putting so much effort into doing great videos for their community and their subscribers, keeping everyone informed. Thank you for really doing that. As long as you are providing great information for people to take action on, or just keep them informed about blockchain technology or its advancements, I'm really, really very, very thankful, because I think it's a community effort. It's a group effort for everybody to do it. Am I getting more inquiries to do promotions? Yes. Surprisingly, this is a very important thing. You guys may not really think this is important, but there are more companies that are inquiring from a business standpoint to have their products reviewed. Some obviously are scammy and they are high yield investment programs, which I don't touch. But there are some like the recent Suku, right? Citizens Reserve. I did an AMA with that. That was the only one I did this year because I felt, hey, they are well backed. They are building a product in the supply chain management space. So I was like, okay, that's educating the public. Nothing wrong with taking a sponsored video like that. But all in all, yeah, it kind of seems to be coming back. So maybe alt season is coming back. I don't know. But anyway, guys, just wanted to update you guys. Congrats on your XTZ positions. Hopefully we see bigger, better returns in 2020. I think everybody could use a nice boost to their portfolio, especially if they've been hodling. Nobody even jokes or memes about that word, hodl. No one cares anymore. But you know what? Staying invested isn't that bad a deal, especially in this space, guys. I am a strong testament to that. And I think, the word investment also cannot be used so loosely, because when you say invested in the financial space, the old school financial space, we're talking about 3 to 5 years. My position was only 6 months, and I liquidated 80% of it, obviously on a profit. But sadly, we can't really treat crypto the same way as we do the old school shares, because the lack of transparency and financial reporting from these companies is something that is still lacking, and exchanges don't really enforce these kind of requirements. It's like they just pay a listing fee, and if they don't do it, they just remove them. And these companies are obviously completely cool with that. So you have to stay cautious still. Be very mindful that there are always the Ponzi schemes or the shell companies that are trying to look legitimate. Don't be easily fooled, all right? So anyway, guys, I have not figured out how to use this YouTube thing, but let me figure it out. I'll start, coming back a little bit more actively. I'm so sorry that my timing is always so crappy. As you know, I think right now and in the US market, it is, I think on the US side, it's probably close to midnight, depending on where you are in the States. I'm very thankful that people are still watching. I mean, 33 people watching. I'm very, very thankful for you guys taking the time to kind of come on. Oh man, I see. Anytime if she falls, I'm so sorry, right? It's not that I'm a bad parent, but it's just the way it is. Okay. Oh yeah, New York City. Yeah. So probably New York City is either 12 hours behind, right? So I'm going to be traveling for sure. I'm going to be traveling, but am I going to take my eyes away from the market? No. I have not taken my eyes away from the market ever since I started the channel. And that is why I kind of still am able to zoom in and hone in on what to buy and what not to buy, what to stay away from, and what to actually take note of. I think that's very, very important. It's about the mental discipline. I guess it's something that I've done. I've always been passionate about. And yeah, it really helps. It really helps to kind of also exercise. I've been exercising, although it doesn't look it, but I've actually been exercising a little bit more, taking care of my diet. Yeah, I feel actually more energetic. Yeah, so it's just that it's kind of a bit crazy with the kid. But anyway, yes, Dad, obviously she does not really understand what I'm talking about. But the elder one, she's pretty tuned in. So it's kind of nice to see that a lot of folks, kind of grew up with me, from seeing my eldest daughter, now she's already 7 years old. And then now this one is already able to walk and talk and stuff like that. So you see, you guys are kind of growing with me as well. So that's a very good thing. So anyway, guys, let me see. Okay, yes. Okay, XTZ from $9. What? $9? That has never happened. Okay, Corey, yeah, nice to hear from you too. Lawrence Go, yes, I went to DCR made out WeWork recently. I was surprised to see around 10 people there. Yeah, there you go. One of a Singaporean friend, a Singaporean who has been there. You can validate the lack of folks. Okay, next one is Binance Meetup, and I hope to see more people. Yeah, okay, I kind of doubt it. Yes, okay, guys. You guys are awesome. The fact that whether you're new to the channel or whether you're someone who has been around since I have been making videos, I just hope that you all always have money in this market. I sincerely mean that, because if you pull out any money from the market right now, and whatever you feel that is an investable position, okay, you don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because there were folks who kind of confused me back then as well. And right now, I feel that as long as I stood my ground and I was able to validate and justify my position, right, that has paid off handsomely. And that is something that I feel is very important for you guys to understand as well. Though no one else is looking into this space except you and me, it doesn't matter. Because right now, with all the money and infrastructure that's being poured in, and I've mentioned this sentence so many times that it's a little bit embarrassing to preach the same thing, but the fact that there is big money coming in, you better hold your ground. You better hold your ground, because the moment the market takes off and your money is not in, you're gonna, we call it bang balls here, where you really just, it's like you really got hit in the nuts because you failed to have a vision of the space. You just knew it, but you kind of chickened out on yourself because you were just influenced because of what other people say. And other people they just want to say whatever they want to say because their money is not in, and perhaps they are more experienced in other industries, so they have their piece, you have your piece. You just have to find your middle ground and manage your risk. As long as you manage the amount of money that you put into the space, and you find that, you know what, no problem, I'm going to write this. I still have my day job. I don't need to take any money from my portfolio. Why should you leave? Why should you leave this market? Even if you don't buy anything else, just buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. Just every month you buy a little bit of Bitcoin. Whether Bitcoin drops to 6,000, 5,000, 4,000, you just buy. Every month you just buy a little bit. And even if Bitcoin goes to zero, that is a chance that you have to take, because that is what risk and reward is all about. There is the possibility of things going to zero here in this space. It is very, very evident that that can happen. But if you don't take a risk, you are always going to be stuck in your same financial situation. You're going to be stuck doing the same thing over and over again because you don't take any risk. Just like that. Simple as that. All right, guys. Take care, and God bless, and enjoy the holidays. I am personally just gonna do very, very minimal things to my portfolio, little adjustments. But you know what, guys? If you want to join me in my private group, please feel free to hop in, join me in my Discord. We are it's a free chat, and if you want to take things a little bit more to the serious side, my private group, my Protégé Pro group, is open to folks who are wanting to learn more about my investment strategies and my trading strategies. See you guys in the next video. Take care. God bless. Okay.